Audio is on.
Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. Just letting you guys know also that some of the content on this show might be a little bit mature for children, so please use discretion while watching with children. You might want to change it from the happy hour. You can edit the YouTube right now. Good morning! Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt and Jay. Today's topic will change. Sorry, we've been busy discussing different things about what we're going to be doing up here and guidelines and this and that stuff, important stuff. Can they see my face yet?
Yep, we're here. As soon as you finish the disclaimer, I merged.
That stuff is kind of difficult to do all at the same time, isn't it?
What's that?
Changing everything all at the same time while talking and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I still got to post it.
You can go ahead and kill the music if you want to. Or we can listen to the whole thing. It's up to you. All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay. Good morning.
We're glad to have everybody on board with us today. So, first things first, and I believe shows from now on will only be 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
Because we need more time in between shows to sanitize the area, doorknobs, microphones, tables, everything. So, this would be the first time that Jim's heard about it because we just discussed it this morning because we're still getting started late and we need more time to
transfer things over.
Yep, and accommodate for the COVID-19 regulations that are out and about right now because we don't want people to come here and catch COVID.
I don't think anybody has gotten sick on our account yet.
And we don't want them to.
No, and we don't. And that has been from the very, very beginning, we have always said, conduct yourself as though you have it and that you're highly contagious.
And that you don't want other people to get it. I had an argument.
I basically social distance.
Yeah, I do too. And it's just...
I do wear a mask a lot.
We've been doing it
whenever
so
I'm
long
in public,
now.
But here, I don't wear a mask as much as I social distance.
Yeah, but also when we're not in the studio, it's going to be, for those of you who come to our studios... if you're not in this studio during the broadcast, if you're not part of the broadcast, you're wearing a mask.
Yeah.
It has to be done. Because, again, we do not want anybody to catch this crap because I don't want anybody to go through or anybody's family to go through what we went through in November. Yeah. Because if somebody...
It's a tragedy.
It is. And if somebody catches it and dies...
And it's sudden and it's harsh. I mean, it kills.
And if it's not sudden, it's long, drawn out, and miserable.
Oh, yeah, and that's been the case.
That would have been worse.
For us, it was,
I don't even want to think about how it would be if we had to sit there and watch Dad waste away. Because, if he would have lived and survived through it, he probably would have been on oxygen the rest of his life. Because it attacks your nervous system as well. I was talking to my doctor the other day.
And it scars the tissue in the lung, doesn't it?
I don't know
about it all, but I don't know all about it. I've heard so much about it.
Well, you know how I was fighting that anxiety,
right?
And that was one of the worst anxiety attacks I've ever had. And I've had some doozies.
You mean on the air when you had to leave?
Yes. I've actually fought anxiety attacks on the air numerous times. But that day, there was no fighting it. It was getting the best of me. So I had to go in, splash water on my face. And that was about a week and a half I was fighting that episode of anxiety and depression. Well, for those of you who don't know, I had caught COVID-19 and was in quarantine for a couple weeks. And I caught it from Dad and Mom. And, so I talked to my doctor last week, and he was out for like 20 days because he quarantined because he caught COVID. And he knew he was talking to me about anxiety and depression. And he said that he thinks that it's, I mean, I battle it anyways on a semi-regular basis. I mean, not near as much as I do now. But he said that it was probably post-COVID symptoms. He said he just came back from having COVID and he's feeling symptoms like that, and he's never felt anxiety and depression before like that. And he said a lot of his patients that have had COVID are reporting similar symptoms. He said it does attack the nervous system, and that's probably the reason why I'm fighting it worse now than I was before. I mean, right now I'm good.
Yeah.
I've actually been really good for the last few days. Even the last week, I've been really good. And and things aren't setting me off like they were, because I was doing better, and then I found out about another driver friend of mine whom I did not have contact with while they supposedly had COVID passed away.
So as far as I know, I haven't had it. I'm a cashier, so I handle a lot of stuff that the general population has handled. I take what they had in their hand and I have it in my hand.
But you use sanitizer a lot.
I do use a lot of sanitizer. I clean the surface that I work on regularly and continuously through my shift. I wash my hands whenever I leave and come back to my station.
Yeah.
Always wash my hands after using the bathroom. And then again, if I have to, before I go to my station to do the work that I do. I clean the touchpad regularly that people touch to do their entering. I also encourage regularly people to use the tap card if their tap card works, to use their phone if their phone works, because those reduce your contact with multiple, you know what I mean? So if I have a line full of people, I can't wash it after every person. So I encourage those things, and more people are doing it. Now, these apps and stuff that work with your financial payment type, so, these apps like Samsung Pay or Google Pay that you can put your card information in and use are guaranteed secure.
Yeah.
Never let somebody stand next to you while you're putting in your PIN. Those are just common things that really, if you do them, you will protect yourself. It's not saying that you cannot be violated in that way, but so those are the things that I do anyway. I clean everything regularly in the station that I work on, and it's because I know that it's a health issue for the general public. And I have customers, many customers, some that I don't even know their name, but I see them all the time, who are dear to me, who I love them. And I don't want them to get sick. I don't want, they say that the black community is more susceptible to the health issues and stuff like that. So I'm even more cautious around high-risk groups, and I encourage them to use the sanitizer that I have available there more than I would other people because they are in a higher risk group.
Right.
We really need to do that. I mean, sure, maybe you don't feel like this stuff is real, but you don't want to be wrong about this.
Right. No, you don't. And
even if it's just, okay, so let's say none of this stuff is COVID. Let's say it's pneumonia. Let's say it's the flu. Let's say it's the common cold. Let's say it's all this other stuff. Still, the best way to stop the transmission of those things is to keep your mask clean, not to touch your mask and then touch a surface that other people touch. Clean a surface that you touch regularly, frequently. Wash your hands frequently, which is killing my hands, by the way. My hands are dry. I could scratch the scales off of them, but then they'd crack, so I don't do that. But, it's worthwhile. As far as I know, I haven't been sick. So that's all I can tell you as far as evidence goes.
Right.
I have depression. I've had clinical depression, and I think God healed me from that. But I do still think the wrong way a lot of times and have to change my thinking.
Yeah. And it's a conscious effort that you have to do.
You have to realize what you're doing. If you're stressing about everything that's not in your control and not taking command of and acting on the things that are in your control, you're finding yourself in the deep end.
Yeah.
And you can't swim. You can only swim so long.
Sorry, I'm setting time. I am setting.
Nobody finds himself, swimming in the middle of the ocean with no life jacket, saying, "Lord, let the sun dry up this ocean so I can stand on dry ground." That's going to take more time than you've got. So be prepared. Do what you can about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the things that are out of your control. Work on the things that are in your control, and you're doing the best you can, and you're making a difference. You're donating some money now, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You talking about on a regular basis? I do.
Well, yeah, but
I
I mean for the equipment to do the next studio.
Yeah.
Are you going to do that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm trying to.
I mean, I can balance my books and put a little in too. I think that's appropriate. How about that?
That sounds good.
And when can we do it? I'd like to get those things ordered and on the way.
Reminders can't be set for a time in the past. I don't even know what that.
Oh, you're trying to set it for the date, a former date.
Let's see, date. Today. It says today.
And what time?
Oh, okay. So.
AM or PM or?
26. Because
So
the time has already passed.
Don't Tear Your Retina is the title today, which is,
Which was the title Friday.
Yeah.
Because we thought it was a different Steve.
Yeah.
That
We
had
thought it was
torn
our
retina.
Steve. Our regular Steve. He came to church this week. I think he's going to come from now on.
Yeah.
We had Sunday school, which is really good. It's not good for the band practice.
So I've got it set every morning now at 7:55. This watch would go off.
Okay, good. Because we need that.
Because I had it for so long.
What watch is that?
This is
Is that your old watch?
no. It's
Is that the one Barney gave you?
no. This
Oh.
is a new one.
Oh,
It's a new one.
It's very
got,
nice.
It's got a pulse ox meter on it. It's good for the hypochondriac.
it's a very nice watch. Beautiful.
I changed the band.
See, you use that stuff so well.
I do, and when I first got the watch years ago, I got the first one, and I thought I had buyer's remorse almost instantly because I'm like, I'm not going to use this, but you know what? I use it for everything.
Yeah.
Like whenever someone's calling and I've got my phone in my pocket, I just look at my watch. It tells me who's calling, and I answer.
What does it cost to have somebody professional fix up your laptop and speed it up and get all the junk off of there and keep it off?
I don't know. Not that much.
I
Doesn't
got
cost
to do
much.
that.
If you, it doesn't cost that much. See, the one thing that with yours that the only thing, I could do it, but the thing is, I don't want to delete any of your data on your, what do you call it?
Phone.
Budget, on your budget.
Right. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for, I don't know, for some reason there's so much stuff running that in the background that it can't handle it.
I can do what I can to speed
I think
it
I'll
up.
take it to somebody. What did
Yeah.
you do? Best Buy?
Yeah, probably.
Who's the best place to go?
I don't know if they take in. They might the Geek Squad there. Just Google it. Google people that work on computers or something like that,
Yeah.
and because I'm pretty sure that you could get it done fairly reasonably.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I'm in the market for is another computer.
I need to find a way to get more EQ, import more EQs that are set for so I can go to a tool
Oh, I need
and
a
bring in a
set.
vocal EQ and just overlay it onto the. We got a lot of cool stuff going on, man. Me and Barney worked on getting all of his inputs set up on the
on
board,
the drums.
and he was playing it, and this is what Barney said. Yeah, that's good. I like it.
And to hear Barney say that
He
is
liked
amazing.
the sound that he was getting from each instrument, which is good. Unreal.
Okay.
We got a bunch of microphones that were kind of cheap, but they were designed for the purpose of drums. which is so great. Oh,
Yes,
man.
Larry, the music was kind of slow yesterday, and I was not happy with that. He said, but the worship team was great. There still was worship.
They need more practice.
But, yeah, 30 minutes before, and I can't get everybody to meet up and practice. So, that happens. Everybody that does that is volunteer, and so you live life.
There's not really an excuse. We got to make it important.
Yeah, it's important to me.
And those guys are retired.
Yeah.
They can all be there. I know they've got a distance to go.
What do I think of the shot? I'm not actually going to put forth my opinion on the air because
shot.
the vaccine.
Oh.
Because I don't want to influence anybody, yes or no.
Yeah.
So hit me up on a private message, and I will, because we don't want to violate any kind of regulations or get ourselves censored in any way, shape, or form.
Cody.
If you text me on my Facebook, I'll let you know what my opinion is on it. What Cody? Was Cody watching?
He services computers. That's the man I'm going to go to. I'll pay him to do it.
Yeah, Steve and Rachel did go to the church. Steve O'Mickey Mack and his wife. Did you know? You knew that.
Yeah,
obviously.
they said hi to me. I said hi to them. I gave them my cupcake, my chocolate cupcake.
See, I didn't have a chocolate cupcake.
Good.
I did have a breakfast burrito.
That's good. I mean, that's good.
They were so good.
You said no to one thing.
Yeah, the sugar starchy thing.
I'm concerned about you.
Well, I mean, no concern. I haven't gained any weight.
I
just
feel
haven't
like
lost any
maybe
either.
you're being bombarded in so many ways to tempt you, and I think that is happening.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You're being tempted on every front. Everywhere you go, there's food right
yeah.
now.
Well, not just it's not the
And the
food
wrong food.
itself. It's the wrong food, and it doesn't help Barney saying, "Here, you want an Oreo?"
Yeah.
So I've eaten, more because the Oreos I'm allowed to have are 0. I shouldn't have any Oreos.
You have to be able to say
No.
You have to be able to say no, and if it's tempting to you, you've got to be able to say, look, that's tempting me
Yeah.
to do something that's not healthy for me. And you got to put it back on him. I know he feels probably like he's eating something good that he wants to eat and that
wants
you
to
like
share it,
and he
yeah.
wants to share it. But you got to let him know that trying to share that with you is wrong, because what's the alternative?
Right.
If you cave into those temptations, your health is going to be an issue again as far as your weight, and we don't want that again.
Yeah, because I'm a
And here
food
I'm making
addict.
apple pie. I got to get, and I'm glad it turned out bad. It's not good. It's really not. I mean, it's good enough to
I'm
eat.
going to have to take your word for it.
It's good enough to eat, but it didn't come out good at all. There's no crispy caramely taste to it or anything. It's kind of bleh.
Barney did say it's not very crispy.
No, it's not.
But I didn't. I had a slice of apple and a tiny piece of the caramel that
Did you?
resulted, and it tasted like caramel
Apple.
and apple and
Yeah.
cinnamon. I love that stuff.
I
But
did it all wrong.
But I'm still saying no to a lot.
You are.
Like
But your yes is growing.
yes, exactly, and it happens gradually.
Yeah,
that's
and you
why I
don't
went
want that.
ahead and bought the food
I don't
again.
want that for you, because when I look at you now, I see that your health is improving in every way, and
Yeah.
I don't want that to change, because I love you. You're important to me. You're a big part of my life, and so are and so to our viewers.
Yeah.
You're a charming and wonderful young man, a man of God that is way more influential than you realize.
And my brother Scott I just became his health coach, and so he's gonna start his health journey.
Good.
That's exciting. I am really excited about it. And he's like super excited about it, and I love that, because I know the hopeful feeling that he has is the same hopeful feeling that I had before I started. You realize it hasn't even been a year since I started the program. It hasn't even been a year, and I've
Really?
already lost like 120 pounds.
Pray for me about smoking. There's several reasons why. One, I've noticed that all the time that I used to smoke, all the time that I used to smoke while I'm in service is causing I don't know the right word. So it's not at a convenient time to walk away from the service that I'm doing. That the service that I'm doing needs me to be attentive and diligent, and the cigarette temptation comes in and becomes priority, and those things are suffering because of it.
Gotcha.
Also, last night I was laying in bed and I could feel there's quite a bit of fluid in my right lung, and I can feel it rattling around. I couldn't cough it up. I couldn't get any of it out. So I don't know what's going on there. The doctor wants to test me again for pneumonia, walking pneumonia or something like that. So
Yeah.
pray for me on the smoking. The smoking is definitely...
That and your dad had lung cancer.
My dad died of lung cancer. Yes, he did. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not worried about any of that. You know, I just, more importantly, I'm worried about the service. I've noticed that I just am compelled to smoke, and I have to walk away from something that requires me to be diligent and attentive, and it's suffering because of it.
Yeah. And once you quit smoking, and we'll just say that once you do quit smoking, and after you start to cough that stuff up, you're going to be like a new man.
Yes.
I mean, because I started smoking again just a little bit before Dad passed, and then started smoking a lot when he passed.
It's
and then
seeing it
quit.
differently than I ever have, though.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it as a health issue.
You're seeing it as a putting it over your service to God and
Truly dividing my service. So you can't serve God and mammon or man or whatever it is. And when smoking is taking a priority over my service to God, and I see that the actual service to God that I'm supposed to be doing is suffering for it, that I'm not there when I should be, not there when I need to be, not doing what I'm supposed to be, or distracted in my thoughts because of the craving, it's causing some real, it's really not good.
Yeah, because then you get angry with yourself.
It's immoral.
Yeah.
Now it's immoral. It's not just a health issue or smoking, you know, a bad habit. It's
Right.
immoral in a way that I am sacrificing my service to God that I should be doing, that I know I should, seeing that it is a direct result of my smoking. You know?
Yeah.
So pray for me, and I'll pray for you guys in that
Jackie
same
gave
way.
you the little prayer hands.
Yeah.
Although I think someone told me that those are actually high five, but
Yeah.
it looks
They
like
look like praying
they look
hands
like
to
praying
me.
hands to me.
They always made me think of praying, never made me think of high five.
Larry said, "I would love to see Steve and Rachel join the church."
They are going to, I think.
Yeah, they have plans for that. Now, Steve McAllister needs prayer today. Let me see here. What he's in a lot of pain. Can't move either leg. He said ended up taking strong medications. He said I feel bad about this. So he is not going to be here today. So there will not be another show after today. I'm not even going to pull from the archives because I want to, you know. Well, I mean, I need to get home and get some sleep, anyways, too. But
Yeah.
plus, I want to do a little bit more planning up here. We got a lot of stuff we're getting ready to toss out.
Yep.
So, and
it needs to go.
we're gonna be that next studio over there is gonna be up and running hopefully by next week.
We need to get to ordering. We have the money, so
And
we need
remind me to
get
tell
that
you.
order in before the money dries up.
Yeah. So what I need to do, I need to tell you what I need to do with that check from Larry.
It has to go to Axe,
Yeah. And
so
then,
that he can write it off because it really is donated to Axe.
yes, it is. And then I'm going to buy the cords, right?
You're going to make up the difference for the list of stuff we need to do that, and I will pitch in what I have.
Well, I mean,
I think I have $56.
Well, no, I mean, you've already given so much too, so it's my turn to give some. So
I don't know.
I know you don't do it for recognition. Yeah, you do it because you really believe in what we do, and this is your service to God. And this is my service to God here. What we're doing up here at Acts is not just like we're not paid. We don't draw.
We're being saved.
Yeah, this is keeping us from drinking
It's
and partying.
yeah,
You know, the whole time after
and
like,
life abundant.
from the time Dad passed away until even now, I haven't even, not once have I considered taking a drink.
Me either. Yesterday, I went and I made that apple pie and I put the vanilla in there and finished off that bottle of vanilla. Get this. So this vanilla is pure vanilla extract,
So
full
it's
of
alcoholic,
alcohol.
yeah.
The good stuff.
It's like 90 proof.
Oh, it's the good stuff. And I'm getting ready to throw the bottle away and a little drop comes out. And I thought, well, I'll just drink that. I'll just, clean that bottle up. It's like, what are you thinking? Throw that damn thing away.
Exactly.
But I wasn't scared. I wasn't going to do it.
All right.
But the thought,
the reflex, it was almost like a reflex action.
smelling it, knowing it was there, because what happened was I was cooking on Thanksgiving and when I was making the sweet potatoes,
put a little vanilla in
not
there.
sweet potatoes, what is it called?
Yams.
Candied yams, and I put that pure vanilla in there and mixed up the sugar and then whatever all
So
it
I
is.
think from now on,
And when I touched it with my finger, it wasn't cooked already, so the alcohol was still in it, and just a teaspoon in like a whole bunch of stuff. And I touched that and put it in my mouth, and bam, that stuff hit me so hard and so fast. My love for that, just like a balloon about to burst.
yeah,
And I knew, wow, I'm an alcoholic.
you are an alcoholic.
There is something. So I know people. There's all kinds of people who have poor self-control and all kinds of stuff like that, and use stuff. Which I did use alcohol to escape and to ignore the truth and to make myself incapable
and to ignore yourself.
of dealing with the things I had to deal with. I did all that, but at the root of it, I can't forget. The truth is that the first drink I ever took, I couldn't get enough of it that day.
And I love the taste of alcohol.
And I never could get enough of it anytime I ever drank.
I got
and
started
touching
early.
that
4
little
years,
tiny
4 years
bit
old to be exact.
and putting it to my tongue, I knew I'm an alcoholic. Something
The feelings
inside
all
of me.
came flooding back. That's the switch, and the enemy knows your buttons
Yeah.
and pushes them.
Well,
Hope-
get out, Satan. What is it? What is it? You
Get
got
behind
no
me, Satan.
hold.
He's got no hold.
Satan's got no hold on me. And nail it down. Nail it down is what Pastor was talking about. The devil is real.
Yeah.
And he's working on you.
Yeah.
He never takes time off. He
No.
never takes a day off. He has all of his evil angels and demons
Minions.
watching, waiting for that moment, planning, saying, this is where we'll get him. This is where we'll get him. This is
Yep.
where we'll get him. And that's the truth. That is not a fantasy. It's not some Hollywood movie.
No, it's real.
And you know it. You know something's working against you.
And the enemy pulls no punches.
He pulls no punches
hits
because he
below the belt
wants to
all
get
the
you
time.
down.
There is no glory and honor in what the enemy is doing.
He wants
doesn't
you
care.
to dishonor God,
He's coming like a lion, seeking
whom he
whom
may
he may
devour.
devour.
And he will devour you like a lion.
Yeah, and
They
he'll do
eat
it.
their prey alive.
Yeah, and he'll do it tiny bite at a time too.
Unless it's a dangerous prey, they'll kill it.
Yeah, that's true. And they try to do that to us. Jackie Melton says, in hindsight, I quit smoking about 11 years ago. It's unbelievable how much time I used to spend trying to figure out how I was going to find time to smoke.
And money.
It controlled my life more than I realized. It's hard to quit. I'll definitely pray for my brother Jason.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie.
And when Jackie and Larry and everybody on here right now say that they're going to pray for you,
I'm getting prayed
you're
for.
getting prayed for.
It just dishonor. It makes me feel so. When you're giving what belongs to God to something else,
Yeah.
and you know it, that's hurt. That hurts,
Yeah.
and it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I felt like lately. I'm outside smoking when I should be inside, paying close attention to what's happening, and doing my work that I want to do and be successful at, because I want to help, and I can't help if I'm outside smoking. And I've been outside smoking when they needed me there to help.
And we've been outside smoking whenever something was going on in here, and we weren't in here.
Yes, many times.
Yeah.
And I've found that to be, it's not the health issue anymore. It's not the health issue. It's the service to God. It's what belongs to God being given to something else.
Yeah. And
Willingly, compulsively.
The first step is realizing the issue. Sorry, I'm looking at all my credit cards I've paid off. I'm sorry, that's exciting to me.
We love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. We
And
appreciate it.
thank you for praying for
Are we
us.
getting out of here?
Not yet. It's 43. Sorry, I'm. There we go. So we love you guys, and we thank you for all your prayers, and of course help us to know when and wow, that's weird. That's weird. When
Proximity effect.
pray that whenever issues come up, that the Lord guide us, and that that help us to remember to do all the things that we need to do up here, even on a daily basis, because insurance companies are requiring that you follow the regulations as well.
Yeah.
So we are, since we're getting all this place cleaned up, it's not dirty up here. There is some clutter.
Yeah.
And we're going to eliminate that, and we're going to have different systems in place where, logistical systems where, the potential for spread of the coronavirus is minimalized.
Pray for me and my sons in our relationship. I know somebody out there has been. I don't know who, but thank you for doing it. If you're one of the people listening today, keep praying for me and my sons. I love them dearly. I want to be an example. That's, I think, part of it, too, is that I want to be an example to them, and for them to know that there's another way to live. There's other choices that they can make, and they can worship and love God and serve Him and make a difference in their world and in everyone else's world around them. And I want them to be able to make that choice and know that it's a good choice.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. And if you want to help us out, so you can, if you shop on Walmart.com, download the Hooli Gives app, register. The code that you'll want, the promo code will be 2021.
Yep.
And then you'll get to pick from, you'll get a list of nonprofits that a portion of your purchase will go to, and choose Axe Media Group. Mm-hmm. And then whenever anything you would purchase online off of Walmart.com, like all the cords and all the microphones and all that stuff, we are going to purchase them from Hooli Gives, HuliGives.com. Through that app, you shop from Walmart, and a portion of every sale goes to Axe Ministry, or Axe Media Group, for operational costs and other things. So, and it's a way to give without costing.
Yep.
So we were supposed to have the organizer, the designer, the guy who came up with the idea of Hooli Gives on today, but due to he wants to wait until the app
it's a new app, so he's making all the connections. He's making sure that the money spent, that those codes were put in, is actually going to what it's supposed to go to. He's got to work out those bugs. So you make these arrangements, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all know this. We all have done it before. You make all these arrangements. This A, B, C, and D are supposed to happen.
And then you got bugs.
Right,
in the
and
system.
then you got bugs in the system, and you got to say, well, why is B not following A?
Why is 7 not eating 8 and 9?
Yeah.
It was from an old joke.
Yeah. Why is 9 afraid of 7?
No.
Why is 8 afraid of 7?
Why is 6 afraid of 7?
Why is 6 afraid of 7?
7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
So,
Wah, 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 wah.
But that's a good way.
Am I starting the music outro?
Not yet. It's only 8:46, brother.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And you know what happened with that was, that mute button that's up on the keyboard there?
Yeah.
When the little red light is on, that means it's muted.
Oh, see, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the whole problem.
That was the whole problem. We were like, what's wrong with this? Ah!
Pray for my sons and our relationship. I have an opportunity and to really get involved with Christopher, and he wants to be involved with me, and it's right.
Yeah.
I think the time is right.
So, yeah, that made me really happy whenever you were texting him. And, we realized what was going on because you said you're talking to Chris. So Barney and I we were like, okay, hold on. We won't bother you right now.
Right.
Because you were texting. You were focused on that conversation. And then he came over.
Yeah.
And I forgot how good of a hugger that kid is.
He's beautiful, beautiful child. I love him.
I mean,
so
he
much.
is such a good hugger.
So is Jesse.
He's
And Chris.
He
Noah.
is. He's the best hugger
Of the bunch.
of the bunch.
Yeah.
Almost as good a hugger as I am.
Yeah.
No, I tooted my own horn there.
Noah's young.
I love hugs. Noah
He's
is,
still a little kind of.
and he's a precious child too.
He's doing the right things and following the right steps in life. Not yet aware of why.
Yeah,
Not yet aware of. He's doing good too.
yeah. And
I'm so proud of him.
He's such a.
He's
gentle-
a hero.
He's a gentle.
He wants to be a hero.
He's a very, very thoughtful and emotional and just sensitive soul.
Yeah.
And he's sensitive to how others feel. He's very soft spoken.
He steps right into our banter and
yeah.
our way of,
Yeah. And then it's funny to make him laugh. It's fun making Chris laugh too, because his
Yeah.
laugh, I like his laugh.
Yeah. I haven't heard it enough.
So we will be having Friday after we're done here. I'm gonna go after he gets out of school. I'm gonna go pick up George Dizzle.
George Dizzle, an
For Shizzle.
amazing boy.
Yeah.
What a
and-
great help. I love having him around.
Yeah, and he does it willingly, and
And he's going to have his moments where he's not up for that, because he's becoming a young man.
yeah.
He's changing in his body and in his mind, physically and all other ways, from a child to a man.
Yeah.
And he wants to be a man,
Yeah.
but yet doesn't know what that really means.
And he's
it's
also
not
got,
easy.
And when he's at home, he's got a bit of a lazy streak to him. And
Yeah.
sins of the father, you've heard that, fault
Yeah.
of the son. And I had that issue too. But when he's here with us, I mean,
He steps right into it.
yeah.
They're
Now,
very
if you
good.
leave him be for a while, you'll find him sitting reclined in the chair playing on his
Snoozing.
phone
Yeah.
or snoozing.
Yeah.
But if you say,
You
come
leave
on.
me be for a while, I will too.
Yeah. And,
I need to leave that alone.
yeah. What, snoozing?
No, wasting all my time online and actually doing something. There's a lot I want to do.
So we got a little conversation. Okay, so Steve McAllister and his wife Rachel finally met Larry and Jackie, Larry has been watching and listening to our show from almost the beginning.
Well, as soon as it was available to him and he knew where to find it.
Absolutely. And
He said years ago, you're going to come to this church.
yeah,
He kept
pastor
inviting
told me
us,
that
kept
too.
saying, we need help, we need this, we need that. You got to come and help us.
Pastor Paul took me out to eat one day,
Yeah.
and he said, and this was right before Lindy and I got married a few years ago.
Yeah.
And he
It's
said,
not about if.
exactly. He said, I feel the Lord answered a prayer. I said, well, I can't do it yet. And he's like, well, it's not a matter if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
And, 2 years later,
Here
I'm
we
like,
are.
hey, is that position still available? Absolutely. Okay. And then I figured out I was going to just say, well, I can only help you out on the days that I don't work.
Yeah.
And then I felt like, I do this here
Yeah.
every day, Monday through Friday, whether I work or not.
Yes. Come to church. Northwest
it's such
Baptist
an amazing
want
church.
you. They need you. There's a place for you to invest yourself and make a difference. We need a sound man. If you're into that kind of stuff, please come to Northwest Baptist. But you need to be committed.
Yeah.
You need to be there
Yeah.
because we need you. We love you, and there's a lot there to be done. Any
Yes.
interest that you may have,
There's something going on there.
there's something going on there.
Like we're working on
Especially
all
if you're a
kinds of
young
really,
person.
We're working on all kinds of really cool stuff, new age stuff.
Yeah.
Like projector mapping. If anybody out there knows what that is and knows
And you're
how to get that up
interested
and
in
running,
doing it,
come on out and talk to Pastor about it, because we'll put you to work helping with that.
but you got to be there. We're going to need you.
My son is 15, right? And he comes up there, and they put him in the broadcast room right next to Cody.
Because he knows what he's doing. He's been
Yeah.
doing this stuff all his life.
Yeah.
It's the way life is for
And
him.
him and Cody, they mesh really well together.
Yeah.
And he's doing stuff. He's monitoring Facebook and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He's like, I want to talk about FPS. I'm like, what does that mean?
I
You
don't
know.
know what that is either.
I mean, I know it's frames per
I probably
second.
should. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now that's like
30,
so,
60.
So
Yeah.
whenever the frames per second are not matched, like let's say you notice the video is looking at the TV screen that's up on the
it
platform,
won't even see it.
and it's got those lines going through it. That's because the frames per second are
Not matched.
not matched.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, have you ever seen? This is the coolest thing.
You got to set all the cameras you're using to 720 or whatever that is.
And then set the TV at 720.
Yep.
So now this is something that is so cool. Like I saw a video of a helicopter
Uh-huh.
where its blades were spinning at the exact rate as the frames per second, so the blades look still.
Oh, really?
Yes, I mean, it looked like the blades looked still,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the helicopter just starts to lift up off the air, well, out of up into the air. The blades look still,
Right.
because the frames per second were perfectly matched. That anytime it took a frame, the blade was in the exact same spot.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, it was so neat. I'm like, that's got to be the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And it was the same thing with the propellers on an airplane. There was a guy that he was flying a personal plane, little plane, and he's like, "Well, this is my first emergency situation," and he had his phone, turned it around, and the blades were not moving. Well, as he moved the phone and stuff, you could tell they were moving, but the frames per second matched, so it looked like the blades were not moving.
Yeah.
And
I think that's some of the problems with our music, the sound. I need to work on that. I need to practice it and see if I can't make a difference there.
that needs to be a bumper sticker with the Northwest Baptist logo on it.
What's that?
Larry Melton says, "You need us and we need you,
Yep.
and we'll love you hardcore."
Hardcore love, bro. That's what we're looking at.
So
And please come, get up, put your one foot in front of the other. You will not regret it.
yeah,
And you're going to be challenged every single Sunday. You're going to be challenged.
yep.
And there's going to be work to do, and it's going to be hard, and we need you, and you can do us a great service by being there. You can be a hero, be noble in your purpose, and do something amazing in the family of God and in the body of Christ, where you can be a foot that the body is standing on over.
But don't smell like a foot. Even if you do, we'll love you anyway.
Yeah, we'll love you anyway, because I smell like a foot sometimes.
You know, I come in there from like straight from work basically, so I always smell like diesel smoke.
right. I
stuff
never
like
smell it. I can't smell very
So
well.
it is time for us to get out of here.
Yes. And remember, don't tear your retina.
Don't tear your retina if you can avoid it.
So I'm starting the music.
I've got 1,467 friends. Wow.
I don't have that many. I don't.
I need to go through. I just, people see our show. And
I
they-
just use it as a way to get that stuff out there for acts.
So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the morning drive. We'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in. Well, don't tune in next because there's nothing going on now. Pray for Steve. That's what we'll say. Pray for Steve. So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
And this has been
The Morning Drive.